Working outside of the home, how it is killing your femininity, your femaleness, the embodiment of your womanhood. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to my channel. And today we are talking about working outside of the home and how it is inevitably affecting your femininity. And just going to throw a disclaimer out there. Of course, that does not mean that you absolutely should not work outside of the home if you are a woman, or even that if you work outside of the home, you don't have any femininity left to you, okay? That is absolutely not the case. I just want to propose to you some of the ways that it can be harmful and affect your femininity, especially when you are in relationship to a masculine energy man. Okay, so even if you are single and you do have to work, okay, because the chances are is that you probably do, unless you come from family money and it's not required of you to work, or you live somewhere in the Middle East where women literally have the choice not to work, because they have a strong provider men always providing for them. What a luxury, right? But yeah, you probably have to work if you are here in the Western world, or maybe you're even choosing to work, right? Regardless of if you're in a marriage or serious relationship with someone, or if you do support yourself, you can still embrace your feminine energy, all whilst doing that. But I'm gonna give to you some ways that could be potentially harmful to that when you do work outside of the home, okay? And the first one is losing time and freedom. Okay, because time and freedom is feminine energy. Masculine energy provides space and time for female energy. And so embracing your freedoms and not having to sacrifice and give up things and resources is very feminine. And inevitably, when you work, full time, especially outside of the home, you are sacrificing a lot of your free time and your pleasures and your hobbies and time to do other things that fill you up more, such as being in community, such as going to events with your friends, such as spending time at home, such as being a homemaker, right? Being a homemaker is a full-time job, especially if you have a family in that home to take care of. Okay, even just one more person living in that home. So if it's just you and one more person living in that home, taking care of that home, like the inside of it, cooking, cleaning, taking care of furniture, decorating, like all the homemaking activities, that requires like a lot of time and freedom on your hands. I mean, it is a business inside of that home, okay? It's a lot of upkeep. And I know because I do that. So I say that to relate to you, because if you work full time outside of the home, you will not have time, nor will you have the energy in order to dedicate time to being a homemaker, okay? Because it does require a lot of your energy. And if you're expending your energy in the workforce day in and day out for 7-8 hours a day, what kind of energy do you have left to bring home and start working again inside of the home, okay? And let me tell you, I love cooking and cleaning and, doing all these DIY projects and cleaning furniture and shopping for furniture and, decorating my new house. Like, I love that stuff. But after a long day of work, I don't care about it. I don't have any more time. I feel like I don't even have any more time to do that. And it really requires a balance there. But I say all that to say is that you will really be neglecting that part of your God-given, feminine instinct and nature to want to nurture a home like that when you are putting in so many hours in the workplace. And I get that you can outsource anything now, just about anything. You can just outsource it and hire someone to do it for you. You can hire someone to come decorate your house. You can hire someone to shop for you. And people that run businesses, obviously, most of them have to do that, right? But some of us more old-fashioned folks, and especially if you're wanting to embrace a more slow living lifestyle, then you want to have say-so and have more energy from yourself put into nurturing your home and creating your space and personalizing it, like that's the old-fashioned way, is just not outsourcing it and dedicating the time and energy and effort to do all of these things while your husband is out working and providing for the family, right? And of course, my channel has always been about men, women, and relationships, and teaching communication skills, and encouraging men to embrace their masculinity, encouraging women to embrace their femininity, and talking about hormonal differences, the biology of us, the psychology of us, brain differences, brain chemistry, all of these things. Remember that it all ties into and goes back to you and how you're showing up. And if you're a woman, embracing your femaleness, and if you're a man, embracing your maleness, right? So all of these relationship tactics and skills that you need and that I'm on here talking about, it all comes back down to you and your health and how you're showing up and the energy that you're carrying into your life and into your partnerships. Okay, so overwhelming yourself with all kinds of things that you have to do, and overwhelming yourself with things that you have to sacrifice in order to make money, and neglecting your pleasures and neglecting your time with friends and family, that is masculine energy. And so what does that mean? It means that if you're indulging yourself too much in that, you will become more masculine energy oriented. And then, of course, that's a domino that leads to a bunch of problems affecting your femininity and, of course, your overall health in general. Okay, so the next quality for the next way that you could be affecting your femininity when you are working outside of the home is that you are having to suppress your emotions when you are in the workplace. Okay, so let's say, imagine you have a big fight with your very, very close friend, or you have a bad fight maybe with your husband, right? It was a big fight. It was a very emotional fight. Well, nothing really got resolved because you just ended up going to sleep after the fight, right? Well, the next day, the problems are still there. Nothing has been really resolved or communicated, and you're already back at work, right? Well, you have to go to work and put this guard and this pretend face up and suppress all of those emotions that you are bottling in and the problems that you're dealing with at home in order to show up professionally in your workplace. Well, guess what happens with that is you keep suppressing emotion, nothing is ever coming up for you and being released in a healthy way, and you're actually taking time to yourself to reflect on your emotions, because you're just constantly like on to the next thing and the next business endeavor, right? Or having to, attend a meeting or, answer this phone call, whatever it is that you have to do in the workplace, you're suppressing all of those heavy, heartfelt emotions. And anytime you are suppressing emotions and not being vulnerable and expressing yourself, you are going to become more masculine, okay? So this is very unhealthy, because when you keep pushing those down, eventually they just build up and up and up, and they kind of just burst, right? Think of a bag that you overflow too full. Maybe you put too many groceries in a grocery bag. Well, eventually that bag is going to burst. So it's not healthy, because you're not allowing yourself the time to release those heavy emotions and resolve the problems and conflict with your partner, or even if nobody else was involved, right? Maybe you just have feelings that need to come up and be released every so often, okay? I'm actually on here quite often trying to relate to you by telling you that you should be releasing your emotions often, right? You are a human being with human emotions. Human emotions is the biggest tool for people to play on in order to twist our psyche and manipulate our psyche. And this is really how politics works. They play into the most powerful force, which is the human emotion, right? So I'm always encouraging you to release any heavy weight or burdens that you're carrying, or things that are hurting you, right? Release them in a healthy way, because I sure as hell do. I cry at least like 4 times a month, at least, at minimum, especially closer to when I am getting on my cycle, okay? I'm very emotional. I'm very lightweight, and I mean lightweight because I don't carry things in me. You can see that, you can actually see this from my body. Just looking at my body, is I'm fit and skinny. I'm in good shape. I'm in good health. That's a reflection of the inside of me, okay? Because I don't carry all of this emotion inside of me, inside of my nervous system. I feel it and then release it and let it go. I let it come up and I let it flow out, okay? And then something may trigger that emotion again, and then I feel it again and I release it again, right? That's why I'm constantly flushing out my system, so that way new feelings can come in. Okay, so you want to be able to feel emotion and release them as they are coming up for you. That way you're not holding on to them and carrying them around with you through your life, and then just ignoring that they are there, okay? Because it will start to show and reflect on your physical, okay? So you go into the workforce and you're suppressing all of that, and you're inherently becoming more masculine and putting up this wall, which is deteriorating your feminine energy. Okay, next way that working outside of the home is affecting your feminine energy, and in turn affecting your relationship with your husband slash partner, is because you are carrying the weight and the heavy energy from the world back home into your sacred space. Now, everything that we hear and watch and consume, we have to be very careful with, because it is a gateway to our soul and spirit and our energy and our aura, okay? So when we leave the home, constantly, day in and day out, putting ourselves in a dog eat dog world, and we are listening to the problems and the heaviness of other people's problems, you know, depending on what it is that you do, there's going to be problems in every, you know, business and career path. But when we are always listening to the problems of others, or hearing about experiences out there that others are dealing with, inevitably we can become jaded by that, and then we carry all of that weight on us back home again to our sacred space, which really affects the way that we show up to our children and husband. So if he's going out into the world and fighting the forces in a dog-eat-dog world, but you're also going out there and fighting the forces of a dog-eat-dog world, and you're both listening to all kinds of problems and dealing with all kinds of problems that cause a lot of stress to yourself and on your body, then what kind of energy is going to be back at the home nurturing and revitalizing that pure energy, right? Does that make sense? So you become tainted and get stripped of that purity because all of the conversations that you're having or experiences of others that you're listening to outside of your home is skewing your perception and causing you to become more stressed out, which is affecting the way that you show up. Okay, I hope that this is making sense to you. Okay, because especially when you are working in an environment that is maybe not so corporate, maybe not so professional, but you know, you have coworkers that are always complaining about their lives or the amount of bills that they have that they just can't seem to keep up with, or the coworker that's always complaining about her boyfriend because she's always having a fight with him, or she's having a lot of family drama. You know, all of this that you are hearing from the weight of the outside world that the masculine is supposed to carry. The masculine is supposed to carry that responsibility of the external world. You are, it is again deteriorating the feminine energy and the peace that you're supposed to be bringing home. Okay, guys, I'm going to shut it off for now. Hopefully you found this to be insightful and helpful. Check out the Feminine Dating course, which offers a ton of guidance and help for single ladies who are on their feminine journey and wanting to date more intelligently and don't want to feel so intimidated by the dating world and understanding masculine men. You can go ahead and check that out in the description box below. And if you have any questions or comments or video suggestions, make sure you leave them for me or send me an email. I always get back to every single one of you. And yeah, until the next video, I will talk to you guys soon. Mwah, I love you.